This is titled You Were Taught to Ignore Yourself. Let me get my light. So, a lot of you think you don't trust yourself and you've always felt invisible because you think something's wrong with you. But what if the truth is you were trained not to trust yourself? What if ignoring your gut wasn't a flaw? It was something that you had to learn to survive. If you've ever felt disconnected from yourself, second guessing your feelings, or felt like nobody really hears you, this is exactly what we're talking about today. If you're new here, my name's Glennis. I talk a lot about healing from narcissistic abuse, emotional patterns, and learning how to come back to yourself, breaking generational trauma, all of that. And I want to start here because this is where a lot of this really becomes visible. I welcome in everybody, welcome in the room. Something that happens. Hi, Stargazer. Good to see you again. Hi, Katie. Something happens, and a lot of people don't talk about this. After you come out of narcissistic abuse, after the smear campaign, after everything starts to unravel, you learn very quickly who your people are and who your people aren't. Because that version of you ignored yourself. And it was easier for people to be around that. And if I'm being honest, most of the time, I don't know about you guys, but that weeded out almost everybody. What about you guys? I pretty much had to everybody, especially anybody that had to do with the narcissist. I couldn't. Um, while you guys are answering, or I'm going to get to the next section. So when that happens, after you weed out almost everybody, and you feel outnumbered, right? You feel outnumbered like that, like you're just all alone out in this desert, and it reinforces everything that you were already taught to question yourself, to ignore yourself, and you're out in the desert or the ocean. This is what I picture. You're just out there all alone. The smear campaign has happened. Nobody believes you. Um, Kind of similar feelings to when you were growing up. Can anybody relate to that? Just that you're almost invisible is what it feels like. Let me know if you guys can relate to that, or type small in the chat. And then something else happens that people don't really prepare you for. That healing, you cannot, when you look so awesome, how would I question? Hi, everybody, welcome in. Um, Healing can't happen in a toxic environment. I tried it. How many of you have tried it? When you're living in those narcissistic dynamics, a toxic household, it's already hard enough to heal on your own without the noise, without the confusion, without people pulling you back into patterns that you're trying to break, yet you always felt ignored. Yep. It's not a fun feeling. So when you're trying to break patterns and people are still operating out of those dynamics, it's exhausting. It's exhausting just trying to heal when you're out of that situation. I can't imagine still being in it and trying to heal. And this, sorry, my computer, it's about being humble and taking it in a positive way. Um, this is a part that really messes with people too, because nobody talks about what happens next. I talked about this on my last live. When you start healing, you don't feel better right away. You actually feel worse, because what happens is, and yes, the humble thing and taking it in a positive way. And sometimes that's a challenge, because healing is no joke. Because you start defrosting all the feelings that you shoved down, they start coming to the surface, right? It's like when you take chicken out or meat for dinner or something, and it's thawing out, everything, all those feelings are coming out now. You're feeling the feels. You're not numbing out anymore. And it's kind of like a shock. You're like, holy cow, am I healing or am I not? And sometimes you don't know if you're coming or going, but It's a good thing. It's a good thing because you're defrosting all that stuff, all the emotions that you push down, and it's detox, like detoxing from a drug. A narcissist is a drug, pretty much. It's dopamine hits and the cortisol and that hot and the cold, and you're detoxing from all of that stuff. And when you feel in a safe enough space to feel all that stuff, it's kind of alarming sometimes. So you're processing and you're healing, and this is what happens when you've spent years ignoring yourself. Thank you for the hearts. Your body keeps score until it finally gets a chance to release all that. So has anybody felt that? It's almost like you're getting hit with a wave. Like, holy crap, where did that come from? Like, I'm away from the narcissist. Things should be cool now, right? I should be feeling better. Yes, detox from all the negative noise. It's making its way through. It's letting itself be known instead of being ignored. Because you were made to feel conditioned, even before the narcissist, you were conditioned way before that in your childhood to ignore yourself, and it became a part of normal functioning. Like you don't even think about it anymore. It's just like, wow. So when you wake up, the defrosting part, you feel all the feelings that you weren't allowed to feel before. Hi, dog, can't say that. I'll just say dog. Welcome in here. So here's the part that's really conflicting. At the same, you've all these people have been weeded out, right? After you get relationship and you're feeling all alone, like you're in the desert or in the ocean, and you're learning how to validate yourself, you're learning how to feel your feelings. But at the same time, we're all humans and we still have this very human need, to be seen, to be heard, to be understood. But now you're starting to realize that a lot of people around you don't actually know how to do that. So now you're in a space where you're finally feeling things, but the people around you, they don't always know how to meet you there. And that can make you feel still alone, like you're in that desert. Like it's confusing because you've cut yourself off from all these toxic dynamics, but yet you still feel alone and somehow like shit. And this is why, because a lot of people don't know how to meet you there. But it's not about blame. It's that most of us were never taught to sit with emotions. Let we weren't taught to sit with our own emotions, let alone somebody else's. So of course we don't know how to sit with somebody else's. Kitty says, choosing to change a reaction to response, it's like walking up a staircase in the pitch dark. Yes. Yes, it is. It's uncharted waters. And it's uncomfortable. So we don't, since we don't know how to sit with our own feelings, we're not going to know how to sit with somebody else's. So we learn to fix it. We learn to minimize. We learn to say, "Oh, it'll be okay," or to move past things quickly, because people are, we're taught to be uncomfortable with emotions, and a lot of people don't know how to deal with them. So we accept that as being normal. And where I want to slow this down, because this part matters a lot of people say they want to support you, but what they've been taught is around. Says, when you can't look on the bright side, I will sit with you in the dark. I love this sign. I love it. It's usually out on my patio. But I want to ask you guys, because of what I just talked about, like we're taught not to feel our emotions growing up. A lot of us, it's minimized, suck it up, buttercup, or it could be worse. Whatever our parents or whoever our caregivers were told us throughout life that we've come to accept as normal, we're not going to know how to sit with somebody in the dark if we can't first sit with ourselves. So when it says when you can't look on the bright side, I'll sit with you in the dark, we first have to learn to do that with ourselves. So I want to ask you guys first before I get into this next part, like, what does that mean for you to sit with someone in the dark? Not like literally in the dark, but when they're in a dark place and they're feeling all these negative emotions, they're scared, they're confused. What does that mean to you guys? Like, really think about it. To sit with someone in the dark. Type in the chat. I'm curious how you guys see it. I'll give you guys a few seconds to answer. Thank you for the hearts. And thanks for everybody coming in. Welcome in. Where are you all at today? How's the weather out there? It's getting hotter out here, like summer. So I'll just give you guys a few more minutes because this is lagged sometimes. Because I never knew what that sign meant at first. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it all. All right. So I'm going to break it down. So sitting with someone doesn't mean fixing their pain. It doesn't mean telling them it'll be okay. It doesn't mean rushing past what they're feeling or saying, this is what the narcissist always said to me. And you guys have probably heard this from them too. Like, they're good at dismissing feelings. It could always be worse. That's what he always said to me. It pisses me off. And if you guys want to share what the narcissist said to you, if they have, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's a setback with weather, cold, cloudy, windy like March. Yeah, Mother Nature's very hot and cold. she she'll love bomb us with nice weather and then throw a wrench in the whole thing. So I'm going to break it down what it means to stay with someone, to sit with them in the dark. It means you just stay. Hi, welcome in. It means you don't turn away from their emotions. You just stay. You just don't try to clean it up. You don't try to make it more comfortable for you. You let them feel and you just sit with them in it. And this is the same thing that you got to do for yourself. When I told you guys, sit with yourself in silence and feel the feelings, because last week we talked about moving those emotions through our body, because when they get stuck in your body, that's when healing, you're going to be stuck. You're going to feel stuck because there's all those unprocessed emotions. So, part of healing and feeling those unprocessed emotions is sitting with yourself, learning how to sit with yourself in the dark. So then you can sit with somebody else in the dark. And you do all these same steps. Don't turn away from your emotions. Don't numb it out. Go get high, go get drunk. Just pretend it's not there, shove it under the rug because it will come back. And just feel it. And then when you're with that other person, let them feel it. Just sit there with them, just like you sit with yourself. No fixing, no minimizing, no dismissing. Say, I see you. To yourself, to that person, I see you. You're in pain. And most of us, like I said, we weren't given that. So this is not blaming anybody. It's just we weren't given these tools growing up. So how are we supposed to know? We don't. It's something that is a learned skill that we weren't. I wish schools taught this, how to regulate emotions, how to sit with feelings, but we are taught and conditioned through live social. It's all over the place. Don't feel anything. My narcissistic person always said, "Oh well." Yeah, that's a big, huge dismissal. Thank you for the hearts. So we don't fix, we don't minimize, we don't dismiss, not ourselves, not others. And not to move past the feelings or ignore them because they are uncomfortable. This is part of the healing that it sucks. I'm gonna be true with you. It's not a fun journey, but what are the alternatives? You can't go back to where you came from because that's worse. Go back to hell with the narcissist. No, thank you. And I see you. Yes, I see you. What does it mean when you say to someone, I see you? You see their pain. You see what they're going through, and just sit there with them. So it's something we have to learn. not just for ourselves, but other people, because we can only meet someone as far as we've met ourselves. So if we're not comfortable with something in ourselves, we're not going to be comfortable in it with somebody else. And that's what I've come to realize. Um, that most people weren't actually taught to support someone in pain. So we default to all that shutting down, you know, just going quiet and maybe coming back days later and hoping it'll go away. And we just ignore it like ostrich with their head in the sand. It's like, I know we've all been there. I've been there. Because you're taught that emotions are somehow bad, and they're not. So that's part of moving it all through your body is healing, feeling the onion, that I was talking about. And I'm going to give something simple. I'm going to try to put together after this a simple PDF, something that could help you with this, not only with other people, but yourself first and foremost. And it's a formula of 3 steps: see it, say it, and stay. Practice this with yourself, where you see it, you look really overwhelmed. Say this to yourself. It applies to you and another person. You're really overwhelmed. I am really overwhelmed when you're sitting with yourself. That sounds really heavy. You're naming what you see instead of ignoring it. Like, gee, I'm really stressed out today, or I'm pissed off. What happened? What did you look back at your day and think, oh yeah, what that person said or whatever, and acknowledge it. I'm pissed off, instead of, numbing it out or whatever, pretending it's not there, zoning out on the TV. So see it, then you say it. That makes sense because this happened. And I can see why you'd feel that way because this happened. Or that sounds really painful. You're letting them know that their feelings aren't wrong. Or when you're sitting with yourself, you're letting yourself know your feelings are not wrong. I see you. Of course, you're going to feel that way. You're human. And what does a narcissist teach us? That we get punished for being human. We cannot feel, we cannot question, none of that stuff. So we have to unlearn all of this. And it's a challenge. And then so you see it, say it. Now we're going to stay. I'm here. You don't have to go through this alone, and you're not fixing it. But you're not just leaving them in it. You're you're there with them. You're there with yourself. And this is important because most of us weren't given this either. We're taught to move past our feelings, to ignore them, to be okay, like dismiss yourself. So we learn to ignore ourselves and then we do it to other people without even realizing it. So I want to know which one of these do you guys struggle with the most? Seeing it, saying it, or staying, or even noticing it at all? Because we get into such a like just on autopilot where we're not even aware of what's going on because we've lived these patterns for so long. So when you start to wake up, your body defrosts, like what I was talking about. This stuff is all very foreign. And when someone doesn't know how to do these things, see it, say it, say, that's when you feel it the most. And I want to talk about another situation because this just happened. I told you I'm healing along with you guys. So I want to tell you, me and my friend, we're both in the healing space, right? And so when both people are healing and we're dealing with feelings, this is where it can get even more challenging. So when you're in a relationship with someone else, friendship, friend, family, whoever, who's also healing and they're awake to everything, it can get messy because now you've got two people trying to unlearn old patterns, both trying to regulate, both trying to figure out what's real and what's conditioning. And those old thoughts, they don't just disappear. So you might assume what they meant, they might assume what you meant, and now you're reacting to something that isn't even actually happening in the present moment. It's all the old chitter chatter. It's all the old assumptions. It's all your nervous system going, okay, you're preparing to brace for impact. Okay, I felt this before. Does this mean this person? You're just your brain just starts going crazy. Has anybody experienced that? Like in this healing process, acknowledge the full capacity of someone else's concerns. Yeah, and without us fixing, without dismissing, without because we get uncomfortable with it. We don't like to see someone that we care about hurting. And so a lot of us, like, I'll do this with my daughter because my daughter deals with a lot of health issues, and and that spikes her anxiety and panic attacks and all of that. And as a mom, I just want to fix it. I'll say, well, have you done this? Have you done that? Can I do this? Can I do that? And she says, Mom, just stop it. I just want you to be here with me. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's something that we have to learn to do, and it's not easy to do. So let me ask you guys something. Have you ever been through this where you poured your heart out to someone and they responded, but somehow completely missed you? Because sometimes people will respond and they don't realize they're doing this. Most people don't realize they're doing this because they're not, unless they're a narcissist, um, they're not malicious in this way. Again, it's like a tool that we haven't learned, because people will respond to you, but they won't actually know how to show up or acknowledge you. It's an abuse recovery channel, not a dating site. Yes, this is healing, seriousness. So they reply to the topic but ignore the emotion. And when that happens over and over, I gotta plug in my hang on, you guys, I gotta plug in my computer's not plugged in. Um, Pain, you're hurting, you're confused about something, you're just distraught, stressed. So when they ignore the emotion and it happens over and over again, you learn to stop expressing yourself altogether. Just like when you were with a narcissist, you learn to shove it down, shove it down, shove it down. So that's another way you're taught to ignore yourself. But I want to tell you guys, if you're in friendship with someone that it's actually a reciprocal relationship, that they're willing to listen to you and they care about you, then this is worth expressing to them. If you know that they're going to listen to you and you change and grow and evolve together, that's a whole different ball game. Because a narcissist, will use all this as a weapon against you. So you have to have that discernment in there. Hang on, my notes are all over the place today, you guys. I was not prepared for today. I don't think I'm ever prepared for my lives because it's just live. It's just out there. So, whatever you guys, do you have any questions or anything that you're dealing with? Have you experienced any of this stuff? Because when you start to understand this, it really changes how you see people. When you come out of narcissistic abuse, it changes how you see everybody. And I want to tell you again that people can only meet you at the level that they've met themselves. Sometimes they don't know how, sometimes they're not ready, sometimes they don't have the capacity. Because this is all something, it's like we're reparenting ourselves. I know from my story, um, I didn't really have guidance growing up. A lot of toxic, felt lost pretty much most of the time. I always wish that my friends' parents were my parents. Have you guys ever dealt with that? Just looking back at your childhood, and when you have to raise yourself after getting out of narcissistic abuse, it's rough. It's rough being a grown ass person and you have to reparent yourself. So here's where discernment comes in. Again, how I said the narcissist obviously teaches you to ignore yourself. And not everybody that cares about you, though, once you're out of that narcissistic abuse, toxic environment, has the capacity to hold you because they're not there themselves. They can't do it for themselves, they can't do it for you. But that doesn't make them bad people. But it does mean that you have to stop expecting yourself to be fully seen in places that don't have the depth for it. Because not everybody's healing. I mean, not everybody's on this journey. Ignoring yourself is easy to do. Learning to be present is for yourself is a difficult process. It really is. It's a struggle when you've grown up your whole life learning how to shrink yourself. And it's foreign. It's like learning, it's like going to the gym and you're sore. You know, you're working out muscles that you haven't worked out before. And it's, you just got to keep at it. Yeah, it's not a fun thing all the time. But when you do it with when you find these people that are willing to meet you, you know, that they're willing to listen to you, they see you, they're willing to learn these things with you, then that's awesome because you're growing together. Because most adults, a lot of, well, not most adults, but a lot of adults, it seems like, I don't know if you guys feel this way, like they're asleep. A lot of people don't ever heal and grow and evolve and face all the things that you face when you get out of narcissistic abuse. A lot of them get back into the same thing. It's just a different person, you know, same dynamics, but a different face. I wonder where Giuseppe said he was going to show up with some pizza, like real Italian pizza. Absolutely. I had wished I had more caring parents well beyond the expected roof, clothing, and food. Yeah, just beyond the basics. That brings back a memory for me when I was growing up with my adoptive parents. They took in this stray dog and they kept it on the side of the house, which it was like a little mini dog run. And it had food and it had shelter, you know, and water, but they never took it out. They never gave it love. They never let it out of the yard and played with it and stuff like that. And I noticed that, you know, as a kid that they weren't giving the dog love. And that's exactly how I felt with them. It would be nice to have more caring parents. It's so unfair. Like to see, I don't know if you were growing up and you saw like your friends' parents, they were so cool and you wish that they were your parents. I always like wanted that. And it sucks because we all deserve that. All kids deserve to have two loving parents that nurture them. But most of the time, people it doesn't work out like that. Most people are under a spell from society. Yeah, they are. It's just they're walking around on autopilot, and now with you know, our phones and everything, it makes it worse. Like you pass a person. This happened to you guys. Like you pass a person walking on the street, and they don't even acknowledge you. They're just like this. They don't even know you're there. You're surprised they don't run into a phone pole or something, you know? It's like, it's so sad. Everybody's so disconnected and the lights are on and nobody's home. Let's see if I missed anything. I feel like I'm missing something in here. Like there's a whole section missing. But I do want to say this. If you've been feeling disconnected from yourself or second guessing yourself, feeling like no one really hears you, it's not because you're too much. It's because you were taught to ignore yourself. Not just from that narcissist, the last relationship you were with, or if you're still with them, it happened way before that. So when you start unlearning all this stuff, like your whole life changes, you know. Um, but you're it's like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, and it's rough. It's rough stuff, man. But it's definitely not for the weak. So it's something I'm still learning. But at the end of the day, let me come back to this. It's really about, I think my notes got cut off. Learning how to sit with yourself first. All the feelings that were ignored, when you grew up, throughout your childhood, your young adulthood, relationships that you were in, especially the narcissistic one, because you cannot be human with a narcissist. You cannot express emotions, none of that stuff. And they just reinforce the fact that you cannot feel your feelings. Watching my school friends get hugs from their parents and having a conversation with them would send me into a depression. Yeah, yeah, I can relate to that. It's rough when you're a kid and you're seeing that stuff. It made me think of something like, you guys ever watch that? It's called the Random Acts of Kindness. It's on YouTube. And I thought, okay, I'm going to watch this because I need to get my brain off of healing, off of narcissist, off of my channel, and just think about something else. So I put on that Random Acts of Kindness, and it showed just what Katie was talking about. It was showing like parents that were in the military and they would show up at their kids' school and surprise them. And I thought, how fucked up that is for those kids that are seeing that don't come from those kinds of families, that don't get hugs from their parents. You know, it's like that probably caused so much damage that no one even realized because it happened silently. And my heart just went out to, because I'm sure had to be at least one or two kids or more that saw that and thought, wow, I don't get that from home. And it's heartbreaking. It really is. And of course, that's going to put you into depression. That's why I connect abuse recovery to become like Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, it is like going down a rabbit hole. I think I duplicated my notes and then something got cut off. Becoming. Becoming like Alice in Wonderland. It absolutely is. So this is one thing that my mobile went off. Your phone got turned off or your alarm went off? Ask her. I forgot what I was gonna say. I got brain fog again, you guys. Remember when you see me here live? Oh, your mobile phone turned off. Did you have to charge it? Um, Hang on, you guys. I'm very disorganized today. You get the real unpolished part. Yep, back just to listen to you. What I was just sharing is like when you grow up, asking if anybody's experienced this, when you grow up and you're not necessarily in a loving, nurturing home, sometimes abusive homes, and then you see, like your friends' parents and stuff, how cool and how loving they are. They hug each other. They're supportive, and if you don't come from that kind of environment, like it's really disheartening, especially when you're a kid. You don't understand that. So we were talking about too, and I've watched Random Acts of Kindness on YouTube. And I was doing it to try to get out of my headspace of, always focusing on this channel or healing or narcissistic abuse. So I watched Random Acts of Kindness because that usually makes me feel good. It regains a little faith in humanity because the way things are going in this world sucks. The way people treat other people sucks. So what happened was this a parent was in the military and came home and they went to their child's school to surprise them and gave them a hug. Of course, all the other kids are seeing it, and I thought that's really fucked up for. a few kids there that don't come from that kind of home. They don't get hugs like that. They don't get surprises like that. And it broke my heart. So it didn't help me by putting that on the TV, but also learning how to nurture everyone in a different way. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're learning how to nurture everyone in a different way. I'm not sure I understand that. If you could clarify. I am an army brat and I've seen those activities all the time, never received it. I'm so sorry. That must have been so painful for you. Especially when you're growing up, you don't understand that. Like why couldn't you have that? Because every kid deserves that. So I was talking about too, I don't know if you were here when I showed the sign about what it means to sit with someone. Like if you can't see the positive side, I'll sit with you in the dark. Um, if you nurture everyone in the same way, then it might get wrong. Nur- Positive affirmation was not taught in my childhood. But the thing with like positive affirmations, if there's no action to go with it to show you that positive affirmation exists, it's hard, you know? If we're not shown love growing up, it's hard to like that's why positive affirmations didn't really work for me. It's because we want that to happen in real time in our life. Nurture everyone in the same way, you might get it wrong. I'm not sure I know what you mean. If anybody wants to chime in, if they understand what that means. Being positive and humble with a broad mindset, my opinion. You're talking about like, let me go back. Nurture everyone in the same way that it might get wrong. Being positive and humble with a broad mindset, my opinion. I'm not sure how to answer that. All I know is just being with someone and sitting with someone in their pain and not necessarily fixing anything. No positive affirmations, no like fortune cookie sayings, none of that. Just noticing that they're in pain, like saying, that must be rough for you. I can understand where that hurts, or what was that like for you? Like leaning in to their pain and making them feel seen. But first, I was talking about earlier, like how we have to do that with ourselves. Like if we can't lean into ourselves and see that in ourselves, we won't be able to do it for somebody else. Can't pour from an empty cup, in other words. Like we have to give ourselves that first and then offer it to someone else. And I'm learning all this stuff myself. I never knew what that sign meant. When I first got that sign, I had no clue what it meant. I'm like, okay, does it mean like literally sitting in the dark with someone? Like now it makes more sense. The more that I go through the layers of healing, it's showing support for someone is not easy to relearn in adulthood. No, and that's what I said. Like, that's why when you find safe people and a safe place to come to, like this, where you know that you're not going to be shamed, we don't allow any of that energy in here. I have two moderators. I don't know where Deanna is today. Is she here? I don't think I saw her. Live example, listening to you and into your eyes with these positive talks, it helps. Oh, thank you, Esther. I'm so glad because I felt really messy today. So, like I said, these lives are the real me. I can't edit these. There's no filter, there's no nothing. I'm going by notes to keep me on track because I still deal with brain fog. So, I'm glad that it's helping you because I feel totally discombobulated today. I feel so off course today. And I had a lot of time to prepare. Self care before, taking a bath. My friend gave me some nice bath salts and face scrub and all this hair. Like, I use the hair stuff. Um, what's it called? Hair, I don't know, some kind of hair facial thing, hair facial thing for your hair. Still, you have my attention. That's good. I'm glad. And mostly, like, if I get off course, it's just whatever you guys. I'm still trying to find a way where we can actually come on here and talk to each other. There is supposed to be a link. Let me see. Talk chat. I have a link to give someone if they want to come on here and talk, but I have no clue how to use it because I can't even type in the chat right now. It's so frustrating. And I know the last live I said I was going to figure out how we could like either use oh, hi Deanna, you are here. I'm sorry. I I- I'm just so discombobulated today. I worked a lot of hours this week and um I'm just out of it. And I've got legal stuff on my mind that's going to happen tomorrow. So I'm kind of stressed out about that. But so I didn't mean to forget you. And I'm glad you're here. If I didn't see you earlier. So anyway, back to I was trying to research how to go on Zoom and then life happened. So I still am going to look into it. Just things happen very slowly for me because I'm dealing with a lot of other stuff that life throws at me and gets in the way. Because it would really be nice to come on here like after one of the lives, or if I can figure out how to stay on YouTube and connect the Zoom. I know there's a way to do it, the Zoom call to this. I started drinking mushroom coffee and it does help me with brain fog. I've been wanting to try that. I actually think I have some kind of mushroom tea in here. I've just never opened it. I've heard good things about the mushrooms. Excuse me, you guys, my nose is itchy. Who else do we have in here? Being in a narcissistic, oops, being in a narcissistic abusive relationship will break your love cup. Rebuilding, relearning, learning to just breathe and be calm is not a direct path. No, and I wish it was. It's not going from point A to point B in a straight shot, unfortunately. Aster says, let's decide on a topic before if you want me to talk here. Anything related to healing, generational trauma, getting out of narcissistic abuse, what you're going through in the healing process, anything related, we could talk. But I first have to figure out how to do it because before I got this live, it said I copied the link, but I just don't know how to get it to anybody to get on here. There, I can't even type in my own chat. I don't understand it at all. Top chat, live chat. I don't know. Let me try to add a Q&A sticker. Guard your privacy. What does it take? Uh, Yeah, is the mushroom stuff flavored or is it I've never tried it either. I think we had someone in the live last week when I was talking about, eating healthier and cleaner because you got to do, self-care, hydrating, the supplements. We got into all that stuff. Someone was in here and talked about salads. So that's my focus for this week because I've been really eating crappy. Can you guys relate to that? Like you get so busy with work and healing. I just want to lay down on the couch and die after work. I'm so exhausted. I don't even make dinner sometimes, or I'll just make like processed shit that I know that's bad for me. And I have got to stop doing that because I am feeling it. It's probably not helping, the exhaustion. Not to mention, oh, welcome to live chat. Why can I not post in here? Pin message report remove. Put user and timeout. Send invite link to guest. Maybe this is it, but I don't know. I think that's an invite link for the live. I don't know you guys how to get if anybody in here is like a YouTube guru can help me with that. Uh That's green screen. I think I played with all this stuff last week. I don't. We don't want green screen. To be honest, it's not delicious, but not bad. It doesn't taste like regular cooking mushrooms. Not now, later if you want. Later, what for what, Aster? I can do anything. So you know how to do. You know a lot about YouTube. Are you like a YouTube guru? Can you give me some tips. Potato chips are tasty, but not healthy enough. Well, unless you, when I was on keto, I made potato chips out of sweet potatoes, and then make fries out of sweet potatoes. But then it's not healthy if you dip it in ranch, and that's what I was doing. So I know, and I've been getting potato chips for work. I've been eating so bad. I have to practice what I preach. So anything else you guys want to bring up? I'm just my muscles were sore yesterday, so I took a bath with magnesium flakes. You can use Epsom salts too, worked great, and I slept better last night. That's great, Deanna, where we can share and learn about healing. I want to show you this too, my friend got for me. I'll be right back. We got to move upstairs though. Oh, never mind. It's these gummies. It's these gummies. It doesn't have melatonin in it, but it has magnesium and like real fruit. And I forgot what else was in there. It's supposed to help with hair and nail growth and your gut health and your sleep. I'm going to try them tonight for the first time, where we can share and learn about healing. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out where I can get people out on here to actually talk. But I have such an overwhelming amount of stuff to do with this channel and then life. So it gets to be too much. So I'm going to leave this open for you guys because I'm kind of at a loss for words today. I just feel kind of off today. I feel off every day, but today I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I had before this I had that Epsom salt bath that it's like a lot of magnesium in there, so it's probably I'm like too calm right now. My body's not used to it. If you make your own ranch and use good ingredients like avocado oil, it can be healthy. Sweet potatoes are good. Yes, that's true. I just don't have the time. I don't have the time to do it, Deanna. I'm gonna have to start using my crock pot because I don't know about you guys, but it's just like a thing every day having to figure out what to have for dinner. I just wish it was like the Jetsons where they push a button or remember when they had all the food, it just things would replace themselves. That would be super nice. We can talk about self-care. All right. That sounds like a good thing. So I posted a picture this morning in the community about because I get prepared like Sunday's my only day to really relax and have self care. So I took the magnesium Epsom salt bath. I did my facial and a scrub, the eye thing, the hair conditioner. What do you call it? The hair mask. Did that. How do you care for yourself, Deanna, or anybody else in here? Jump in. I need some help today with you guys taking the lead. Thank you, Aster. Self care and self love are always good to have. And I literally have to force myself. Do you guys have to force yourself? Because you get so on autopilot, you get so busy in life with work and adulting and appointments and finances and everything that's going on. And then you forget about yourself. And this is because, and then another thing about today's life is we're conditioned to forget ourselves. You really, at least for me, I really have to slow myself down and say, hey, who's taking care of you today? You need to take care of you today. And you guys are awesome too. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. What are my hobbies? I like music. I like loud metal music. It's just therapy for me. As far as hobbies, like I would like to learn how to play the drums. I love music. What are your guys' hobbies? What do you love to do? Or if you could, what would you love to do? Be nice to have a garden too, but I'm not such a green thumb. But if I had a yard, I would figure it out. And riding bikes, going to concerts. Because now the weather's really nice. It's not too hot. So you guys share what some of the things, ways that you provide yourself self care and self love, and what are some of your hobbies? I'm always fighting with myself about my value and my worth. You are asking others or asking to Esther. I am asking you, Esther, and everybody in here. I made short rib ragu with bacon and beef ribs. Oh, damn. Why do you have to live so far away? I want to go to Deanna's house for dinner. It called for a whole bottle of red wine. Delicious. Oh my gosh, Deanna, you're making me hungry. That sounds really good. Short rib ragu with bacon and beef ribs. If you would like to, if you could share that in the community, that'd be cool. In the community tab. I'm salivating now thinking about that. What else, you guys? Yeah, but I gotta go grocery shopping this week, and I need to remember to eat more salads, but with like a balsamic dressing because ranch is not that good for you. But I don't have the time to make all that healthy stuff. I really don't. Don't have the time or energy. I need a maid. I need a maid and a cook, or to live closer to Deanna so we can have some short ribs, short rib ragu. Ask me directly. I did ask her. I said, "What are your hobbies? What do you like to do?" Well, I'd love to have an enchanted garden to roll through in the evening. It would be so peaceful. Yes, with the swing in the tree and a little pond with the koi fish, like maybe a little bridge, birds, turtles, waterfall, definitely. I'm going to try to bring YouTube up here on my computer, but it's been acting really slow. Oh, see if I can give you guys the link if someone wants to come on here and talk. See if I can finally get this to work. So I don't know about you guys, but my to-do list is always like 100 miles long, and I have to prioritize, and that's hard because sometimes it feels like everything is a priority. Everything needs to be freaking done at the same time. Oh, my computer is so delayed. Right, let's see if I can get into this live on here. Oops, I don't want that to play. Okay. This is not a dating site. Yes, this is not a dating site. Play chess, reading books, listening to metal, love being behind the wheel, hitting the road. Playing chess. Gosh, I haven't played chess in years. I used to play it a lot. Now I don't even think I remember how. What kind of books and what kind of metal? And behind the wheel hitting the road. Doing what? Like do you travel? Do you do that for work? Hitting the road, go in nature. Don't forget a hammock or a swing chair. Yes, a hammock and a swing chair. That's a definite. Okay, I don't know why. How come I'm not live on here? Can you go live? Wow. YouTube is really confusing. TikTok is much easier, but eventually I'll learn this. Okay, let me see if I can give you guys a link here, but I'm gonna have to email it to me so I can get it on my computer. Oh yeah, this is much easier to read the comments. It's weird looking at two of me. I wish I had a twin. Someone is jealous. No, nobody's jealous. She's just saying this is not a dating site. We're actually healing in here and talking about real, sometimes heavy stuff. I get real distracted reading books. Super ADHD. So funny, Katie catching the trolls today, but I am not picking up on them. You don't see the comments, Deanna, or is your computer lagging? Another nice self care option is hanging out with a good friend. Yeah, I wish we didn't live so far. All of us, it would be nice to hang out in person. It's so hard finding people here um, because people don't live here long. They live here for a little bit of time and then leave. And do you think that I put any wrong comment here? No, she was just saying it's not a dating site. Do you know what Honey Pepper's channel is called? Yeah, I think it's Honey Pepper. It goes by something Honey Pepper. Let me look on here. I'm gonna do it on my TV because my computer is so slow. Honey Pepper. No, not Jimmy Pepper. What the hell? Honey Pepper. Uh, okay, maybe not. Let me see if I can look on here. It's hard to go back and forth. I don't want to lose you guys. I can give it to you after, Deanna, because I'm having trouble. My computer is slow and it's not bringing it up on the my TV. I came up with actual honey peppers. Glennis, do you know Honey Pepper Channel? No, just speaking the truth. Who else is in here? We got Deanna, Katie. There's one more person. This Giuseppe didn't make it. He was supposed to bring a real Italian pizza. There's those weird things in front of your comment again that looks like Japanese. It's like Japanese letters. see. I'm gonna go to my subscriptions. Oh, here's how I can do it. Never mind. I don't know why I didn't think of this. I'll just go to my subscriptions because I'm pretty sure I subscribe to her. Yeah, I wonder if she's well, today's Sunday, so I know she goes to college. Coloring books. Yeah, I need to pull out my coloring books. It's very calming. Hi, Pedro. Vote for Pedro. It always reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite. Sorry, I've got a long list of subscriptions. I'm trying to find her. Honey Pepper. I don't know what her first name is. Sam Backman. We don't want that. Hey Katie, did we ever find out about that documentary about narcissism? Uh, is it Wild Honey? No, no. I don't know if it's Wild Honey. It's Wild Honey, Deanna, on YouTube. Honey Pepper's name is Wild Honey all together. Mandala patterns rather than the large drawing. Uh oh, my light is going. Type that in so you guys can see me. Not as of yet. They're still working on it. Okay. Eventually I want to do a documentary, but that takes a lot of work. But I do want to do that with my channel one day. I made a little mini one, kind of. Okay, this has to. It's like a disco in here. I guess I'm gonna turn that off and let it charge a little bit. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm just gonna have to be sitting in the dark for a minute. Thanks. I will give her a sub. So I don't know what else to talk about, you guys. This is kind of just open. A lot of work and money. Yeah. Well, I don't have to spend money on it, but I don't know as far as you like using clips on other people's videos, like how much I can do that without copyright. So I'm just researching all that stuff because there's a lot of videos like to use clips for educational purposes. And I think if you're using it for that, it's okay. But I have to look through all of YouTube's like do's and don'ts because I don't want to get banned. I've worked too hard on this channel. Be cool if we could watch it all together. I bet we could on a Zoom call. Like I could just point my camera towards the my TV, and then we could pause and take breaks, or just watch the whole thing and then talk afterwards. That would be fun. Or just watch it all on our own time and then come back in a live and talk about it, or go on a Zoom call to where you guys can actually you don't have to just type. See, we've only been on like an hour, a little bit over an hour. Yeah, I just ran out of things, you guys. So whatever you guys, this is just a free talk right now. And this is where I really wish I would have figured this stuff out. But it's, it's not always easy figuring this stuff out. When you're first noticing the narcissism, it's overwhelming. It is. It's like a slap in the face. And you can never wrap your mind around how someone can operate like that and be okay with it and sleep at night. They have no problems going to sleep at night while you're tore up. And it's nothing we can put our minds around because we don't think like that. So it's a puzzle that you'll never solve, ever, ever. You'll drive yourself crazy trying. And I need to get a backup like ring light. Sorry it's so dark, you guys. Yeah, the amount of people are under a narc spell. Yeah, and you really discover how many people are when you encounter a smear campaign and people that you thought were your friends fall under that spell and you're like, really? I thought you'd have my back. Damn. Damn. That hurts. We're getting bored with the narcissists. Yeah, they are boring. They really are boring. I used to think that all the time because I know I'm not the only one. Were you guys the only one planning stuff, trying to keep things alive, trying to keep the relationship going, trying to communicate, trying everything while they just check off the boxes or they put in no effort. They want things that are easy. And I wanted him like they never want to surprise you with anything good. They surprise you with cheating and stuff like that. Like with their whole second life. But I remember being frustrated all the time thinking, what can't you ever plan anything fun? Why do I always have to be the one to plan our day, to say what we're gonna do, what we're gonna eat, sometimes like the narcissists aren't always the controlling type. Like that's why he threw me for such a loop because he'd let me do stuff. But that was his way of controlling that he wasn't going to participate in the relationship the way I needed to. I didn't see it as that before. I thought, wow, he's not telling me what to do. He's not trying to, make all the decisions. He's not trying to do this. He's very helpful. He'll help me with the dishes. He'll help with finances. And that's what threw me for a loop because they will use the kind of the code. It's just the patterns. Also scary as they are not highly intelligent, but very psychotic if they feel as if they have lost all control and never put anything past them. You think they're not going to do something, don't ever put it past them because we never really know them because they change masks for everybody. Yep, they turn into a chameleon depending on who their audience is and who they're dealing with. Absolutely, every time. They're exhausting, man. Like life is hard enough in itself. And then you add a narcissist to it. It's like complete chaos. Wish I could put a little commercial on because I have to run to the bathroom real quick, you guys. So I don't have Bun Bun here. Both of the dogs are asleep. So I will just hurry and be right back after these messages. All right. Sorry about that. I have a small bladder about the size of a pea. So, too many personalities. They forget who they are. They don't even know who they are. That's why they always have to have validation outside of themselves. Because that's why they attach to us like a parasite because they want to be who we are. They want to be the light that they can never be. You know, they have no sense of self, absolutely none. They are so empty and fake, total identity crisis. It's so sad, isn't it? Like, do you guys fluctuate between being angry and then being like, you almost, it's such a pathetic thing that they are and the way they operate that you almost feel sorry for them sometimes. If you're not pissed off at them, you almost feel sorry for them because it's almost impossible for them to change into the better. Like I always say this because I really truly am curious that I'd like to be a fly on the wall inside a narcissist, like a self-aware narcissist home, like Lee Hammock or Sam Vaknin. Chuck Norris. I don't know about that. I don't keep up with stuff. They're identity thieves. Yes. Soul suckers. I don't know if the slide is working now. There we go. It's better. Here's a mess. And the thing that's wild, like when your eyes are open and you wake up and you start seeing everybody, like patterns in everybody, and it seems like the whole world is narcissist almost. Like people are walking around so asleep, and it's like you're in an entire different planet. When you see patterns in everybody, and it's hard to not put up walls, but rather put up like a filter. You filter out people. You let them show you who they are, and you believe them. Like after somebody does something 3 times, I'll say, okay, that wasn't a mistake. That was a choice, and that they are showing you who they are. Boundaries. Yes, boundaries and discernment and patterns. Patterns are huge, and listening to your gut instinct and not ignoring that, because that's what today's life is about. Like we were taught to ignore ourselves, to ignore our thoughts, ignore our feelings. I've been with a narc spouse so long, but there isn't a good part of the relationship to grieve or to miss because I see it as fake. He is a fraud. All of them are frauds. Nice guy and bad guy. What's your opinion? Who's a nice guy, bad guy? Narcissist? They'll pretend that they're nice, but they're bad. They have no good intentions for you. They are intently deceitful from day one. From the first day you meet them, they are deceitful. They are there to take from you. They don't have any interest in a connection. They have interest in control and power because that's what makes them thrive. That's how they feel alive, getting the supply from you and whoever. It's not just in romantic relationships either. They get supply from everybody, any interaction. And it's such a sad existence because like why do you want to, because they've all come from wounded childhoods. They weren't nurtured. They weren't given what a child needs to grow up healthy and learn healthy relationships, communication, all of that. They were deprived of that. And so they thought, I'm going to hurt somebody else before they hurt me. And even though they know that pain, they direct it outwards to other people rather than not doing that to people like we choose to. I don't know. Again, I don't think I'll ever have that answer where they actually, I don't think it's a conscious decision to become a narcissist or an empath, to decide that, I'm going to hurt other people before they hurt me because I'm hurt, or I never want to hurt people like I was hurt because I know how it feels. Like, why would you choose to be the other? Like, I don't understand, like, putting pain on somebody else. How is that going to make you feel better? They feel like shit inside about themselves. They have to. You can't feel good about yourself when you're going around destroying somebody and you know that you're destroying somebody intentionally. Like, you are in and you keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Like, how can you feel good about yourself? They feel like crap about themselves. They hate themselves. They hate themselves and they hate you when you act like a freaking human being. Sounds like a vampire. They are exactly like vampires. They will suck the soul and the life out of you until you're nothing. They suck the light out of you because they don't have any light. The darkness will always be attracted to the light. And that's why when you cut them off, it's like you're cutting off their oxygen. They have to immediately go, but they always have backup. They have to immediately go out and get some more supply because they'll die without it. Because if they, why? Because if they don't have supply, they have to sit in their own thoughts and they can't stand that shit because they know they're bad people. They have to know they're not good people. That's why they're so full of shame. It's just really a sad existence. And I talked about this on some of my videos. Like, you really don't need to get revenge on a narcissist because their own existence is their karma. Like, I am so glad I'm not a narcissist. Put a one in the chat if you're glad you're not one, because their life, even though it looks like they're getting away with stuff, they're really not. Time runs out for all of us. I put a repent now person in timeout for 1,000 minutes last week. I chuckle about that. Repent now person in timeout. What do you mean, Deanna? Repent now person. Oh, they were shaming you like for not repenting? Like a churchy person? And yes, so glad we're not like that. Like I said, what do you guys think? Like, I know narcissists get stunted from a young age. I think it's like 7 or 8 or something like that. Gave them a warning. Good for you. Yeah, that was the. Oh, you're talking about the live last week when we had Satan and Jesus in the live. Yeah, that was funny. I remember that. But anyway, back to like what do you guys think? Like, when Jesus troll trying to spam the chat. Yeah, he was trying to throw me off because when anytime you try to speak the truth, they have to get up in there. The churchy person. But I wonder, like, I always wonder when do they make the decision, like subconsciously, because they're not making it consciously, that they're going to be a narcissist. I am going to hurt people before they hurt me. Where's my lip stuff? Oh, here it is. I just wonder when they decide that. Maybe I'll never have the answer. I'm just so grateful that it's not us, that we're not the narcissist. And sadly, that, like, in their delusional mind, they think they're really on top of things and they're going down the better route because people believe them. In the smear campaign, they get away with shit because most of the world today operates out of narcissists. The way narcissists operate, they reward that. I've seen it happen. And I can't say too much on here because there's some legal stuff going on. So I've seen it happen. They get rewarded all the time. But as I said before, time runs out for everybody, even the narcissists, they are not exempt. You cannot keep treating people like shit and do horrible things that they do to people and continue to get away with it and live a happy life. Perhaps they don't consciously choose that, but they definitely chose themselves at every turn. Yeah, because they do. They do have some self awareness because they know what they're doing. They know that they're hurting you, but they choose to do it anyway. And you will like it and deal with it if you're going to be with them or not choose that. Because I remember him, the narcissist, telling me, I am not going to get rid of my female friends because it's not because I was a jealous person. It was because he had behaviors that crossed the boundaries to this is no longer just a friend, and gaslighting me and telling me I'm not going to get rid of those so called friends. So they know what they're doing all the time, but they don't care. They consciously do choose that. But the thing is, like with self aware narcissists, they're so rare. Like Lee Hammock has been in therapy and he chose to get into therapy himself. That is extremely rare. We don't hear about that all too often because what they're doing is working for them. And today, the way the world runs and the way the world works, it rewards that kind of behavior. Have a theory that they choose around 3 years old due to at that age they've already learned lying at 2, so creative characters are not long afterwards. It also allows them to survive, yeah, because they're operating out of trauma just like we were. Anybody else's thoughts on that? That makes complete sense. But then it's so complex the way their brains work and they're wired at such a young age. And then, when I think about healing now, um, when we're not narcissists, we're empaths, and how hard it is for us to rewire our brains. It's really almost impossible for them to rewire them because first of all, you have to admit that there's a problem before you can make a change. And they never think that they do anything wrong. Nothing that it's never their fault. It's always your fault. It's always somebody else's fault. All of their exes are crazy, right? All of their exes like did them dirty, did them wrong, but they never once mentioned the bad things that they do. They choose therapy for manipulation. Yeah, been down that road. How many of you have been down that road? They'll use therapy talk as a weapon, make them sound like they're so intelligent and use it against you. They try to sound smart, but they really are pretty dumb. They're dumb. And it's easy to outsmart them once you learn just to cut off. You don't give them any emotion. Because they cannot feel emotion, they need to extract it from you. That gives them their fuel. So once you cut that emotion off completely, face it, everything is for manipulation. 100% it is. Everything they do, every interaction is manipulation to get supply that they need because they feel so empty inside and they can have anything genuine and they teach you how to ignore yourself. So once you come out of not ignoring yourself, they've got nothing. They have to run on to the next thing. There's so many unhealed people around here. Like narcissists will never run out of supply, ever, ever. They will always have somebody that will fall for them, fall for their the fake mask that they have on, the bullshit act that they put on. There's always someone out there that'll fall for it. That's why like I want to get this message out so badly. And I'm for other creators and we all come together and to not be silent anymore. because people are becoming more and more aware, but there's so many unhealed people out there that are still asleep and fall for their bullshit. Empaths our narcs choose their preservation only. Yeah, everything is about them. My case, promising to try again while going with me to therapy, but not changing anything and not putting any effort. I get that, Deanna. Been down that road too with the therapy. Actually, it was a men's group that I got him to agree to going to, but it was only checking off the boxes for him. And exactly what you said, that not changing anything and not putting in any effort, like having to tell someone, okay, you need to go to your online men's course right now. Um, Talk in there. They had a whole group, like we're talking now, where they got support and everything, but he could give out advice, but he couldn't take any. You can tell when someone is genuinely trying. You should not have to babysit them. You should not have to be their teacher, not have to be their therapist, none of that shit. They're grown ass men, grown ass women, whoever the narcissist is. Mm. And you shouldn't have to teach them how to treat you either. It's one thing coming out of narcissistic abuse, you no longer teach people how to treat you by explaining yourself over and over again, by defending yourself over and over again. You teach them how to treat you with your boundaries now. It's a whole different ball game. You're going from one extreme to the other. Like, no, you will not do that to me. Your boundaries become solid. Where before they were like, you can melt them. They were malleable. Your narc received energy from you trying and his continued manipulation of you and another. Yeah, the triangulation thing that sure they each triangulated you with the therapist. It's for appearances mostly superficial. Yes, appearances and checking off the boxes. Like I did this, I'm going to therapy. Look at me, everybody. That's how they think. It's not because they genuinely want to change. They'll just grab what tools they can out of therapy and what words they can use. Talk is nice, action is better. It's like they're learning, they're always rehearsing for a movie. Depending on who their audience is, they're always rehearsing the lines. Because I remember when I was with the narcissist, he would always like take such a long time. When I would see him text other people, like his sister, for example, he would want to use fancy words. I'm like, why don't you just tell her what you're thinking? Because they're thinking about how to manipulate that other person, how to sound so intelligent and use these fancy words to manipulate. Yep, talk is cheap. Most likely he did, but I laugh at him now. He yells and runs away like a toddler. They're so good at that, aren't they? And it's so comical. Like I can't really say who this person was, but setting a boundary and now they act like they run away like a toddler. They go and hide when they see me and I didn't even do anything. I just set a boundary. I just said, look, no, this is not happening. And now it's like they're having a fit because there was something that they were supposed to do. God, I can't say it without saying it because I can't reveal who it is or where it's from. And anyways, that toddler behavior is like, oh, well, now I'm going to punish you because I'm not going to do this now. It's like, I didn't get my way. You didn't give me my toy. And they're stomping off like a toddler and throwing themselves on the ground. It's comical. And it's good that you can laugh at it now, that it doesn't hurt you. Deanna yells and runs away like a toddler. You go in the corner and pout. Oh my goodness. You got that right. They never grew from being a toddler. They are forever stuck in toddler mode. They can't switch gears. in an adult body, but still operating out of a toddler mindset. A lot of, even not narcissists, a lot of adults are still in that mindset that don't wake up. I mean, waking up sucks sometimes. Like, I don't know how you guys feel, but sometimes I wish I didn't wake up. And then other times when I think about how awful that was, this is a much better route. Being awake and being aware and not dealing with those people that are just like the lights are on and nobody's home. Adults that don't want to, I cannot tolerate, and you guys jump in here if you feel the same way. I cannot tolerate an adult that is not willing to grow and evolve and change and learn. If you want to stay the same way, like I can't do that. I can't deal with that. If you're not changing and growing and evolving, like what are you doing? It reminds me of that Billy Madison movie, when he goes back to school and he repeats all the grades and he's talking to his teacher Veronica Vaughn, and she was talking about how people just float through life like a piece of shit going down the stream. Like they just exist. They're not doing anything. They're existing, but they're not living. They're not, I don't know. That's the only way I can explain it. Your personal wanted your attention, but didn't want to approach you as a man. Yes. Yeah. They went through a third person to talk to me like a junior high. Thank you, Katie, for wording it the way that it needed to be. I had someone go through another person to talk to me. And I'm like, that was the first red flag. I'm like, I don't want to deal with someone like that. If you can't talk to me like a grown adult, then we have nothing to talk about, period. Yeah, go work on yourself. Being awake is quiet. Sometimes it is. It's almost quiet to where it's loud, if you know what I mean. And we're not used to that because when you come from a narcissistic relationship, everything is so chaotic and your body, your nervous system becomes accustomed to that chaos. So when you get out of that and you learn to sit alone and you're with yourself, healing and actually listening to your thoughts that were forced to be pushed down by the narcissist and the conditioning, it becomes extremely loud and a lot of people get uncomfortable with that, and that's the moment sometimes where people go back because they say it takes, and I don't know who they is, but I've heard this everywhere. You know how they say it takes about 7 times for someone to go back to a narcissist before they're finally done. That's exactly how many times it took me. I've never understand why adults want to act as if they're still in middle school. Hi, Katrina. I'm glad you made it in. I always notice you right away because of your cat. We have the same cat. I forgot what your cat's name is, though. Mine is BB. She has those same big P eyes. It's good to see you. How are you doing? What's going on? Today, like a brief overview, I was just talking about how, when you get out of a narcissistic abusive relationship, that it doesn't start with a narcissist. If you go back to your childhood, you can see patterns of how you grew up and you were conditioned to ignore yourself, ignore your feelings, ignore everything about yourself. That's how we became such a prime target for the narcissist. And when you're healing, how when you're dealing with other people and you're using discernment, you go through the smear campaign and all of that. You find out who your friends are and who your friends aren't. Usually, you wind up losing everybody. Um, that's what happened for me. And so you learn to discern who to let into your life and who not to let into your life. And when you are learning how to validate yourself, first and foremost. But as human beings, we all really need validation. So learning to go to the right people with that is part of the challenging part of healing, because you're learning when your feelings are all coming up because you're feeling like you're in a safe space. Once you're away from the narcissist, you're allowed to feel things. It's like your body is defrosting. So when those feelings come up and you want to share them with someone, not everybody knows how to receive that or how to sit in your pain with yourself, with you. So let me not miss this. My ex did a drive by 2 days ago and sent me spinning. Oh, how did you deal with that, Katrina? It sucks when you have to see them. Do you think he was stalking you when he did that? It sucks knowing that they're in the same vicinity. It really does. Because that ex narc I was with is in the same city, and I hate knowing that he is lurking around here. So it would be nice if he would move away, far away, preferably to the moon or Mars or somewhere like that, or off the planet. Phoned a friend. He is shallow and was in a hot car, like a muscle car. How'd you deal with all that? Because I'm sure that was triggering for you, Katrina. It's definitely not fun to be running into them, I'll tell you that. Or even if you see like a vehicle that looks like theirs, because you always feel like you're looking over your shoulder, like, okay, where are they? Because they will stalk you. You think that they're not, but they will. It's scary when you don't know where they are. Hmm. Yeah, because they do the pop thing. Pop up narcissists. Mercedes, yes, I felt like I backslid a little bit. Your body probably went into straight up panic mode and he dysregulated you. Were you able to regulate yourself after that, Katrina? Bring yourself back down, because I know your heart will start pitter pattering, you start sweating, like it just all these memories, the cortisol comes flooding back, and it just sucks. So being able to regulate yourself after that is so important. Yeah, I'm not fun to deal with at all. But eventually, you get to a place where, or you will get to a place, and sometimes you'll go back and forth with this, that they won't affect you at all. Because you see them for what they are, you see them for what they're doing. They're stalking you, not because they love you or miss you like we love and miss people. They stalk you because they lost control over you. I felt nothing at first and started blaming myself. What did you blame yourself for? Because we get on a we're used to doing that because of how they wired our brains, like everything is our fault. Because it's definitely not your fault that they have he's stalking you. They're so, because they're so desperate for that supply. They're so desperate that they have lost control over you. I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick, you guys. Be right back. Stay tuned. I can put a commercial on. Friends don't understand. I blamed myself for being stupid and married a dumb shit. Yeah, but you didn't know, Katrina, because of what they do. They're manipulative from day one. You know, they make you believe with the future faking and all of that they're in this for real. They wrap it up in all their deceit and their lies and manipulation that and then they have you doubting your own reality. Yeah, anybody's just supply, no matter who they're with. So try to have grace for yourself, okay? But I know we've all been there. Hi, sleepy potato. Welcome in. Remembering when they were really nice sometimes is a cognitive disorder to continue receiving energy off of you. Yeah, they'll do something mean to you and then they'll do something nice after that to keep you disoriented. Hello, I'm from Iraq. Welcome in. They want to keep you off balance because that's how you're easily manipulated. And they can keep control over you and they can keep control over the narrative. But once you throw a wrench in that, then it throws them off. And once you start starving them of that supply that they want, because any emotion will work, negative or positive, it doesn't matter. If you're crying, that gives them supply. If you're pissed off, that gives them supply. If you're trying to figure out, you're playing private investigator, they love that. They love that they have control over your emotions and your mind, and that you're working so hard to find answers that they know you'll never find because they're so good at being deceptive and hiding things. That's a major hit of supply for them. And they'll continue to do that through the whole relationship. They just play a part like they're in a movie. That's how I see them now. So, they're I just went through an argument with my mom. Any ideas how to avoid her without making more chaos? To just be quiet for a while. Don't react with the anger. Just give yourself some distance. You can evaluate the situation, what's being said, because the yelling back and forth, that's all narcissists want to do. They don't ever want to come to a resolution. That's never a thought that crosses their mind. They like to fight and be right and get that supply from you, upset you, piss you off, hurt you. Because healthy people that want a reciprocal relationship are going to want to come to resolution, and arguing is not one of them. If someone just wants to be right and they've got their mind made up about you, it's a no-win situation. Thank you for the hearts. I didn't really do anything. She just shouted at me literally after arguing with my dad and blamed it on my side. Note, I was just sitting quietly through the whole thing. She's projecting her pain onto you because she's frustrated with your dad. Gray rock, keep yourself occupied and away from them. Yes, what Katie said, just gray rock, don't give too much emotion, even though I know it's hard. But once you start practicing it, learning how not to react is a skill. It's like muscle memory. Once you learn how to do it, you just it's kind of like picture yourself picture yourself with some popcorn and you're at a movie and you're just watching your mom and dad in a movie, and that's how you remove yourself from it and you don't respond. You step away, eat your popcorn, and just, like Katie said, gray rock if you have to answer anything, and just don't put your energy into that. It takes practice. And that, yes, Katrina's right. They live for chaos. So that's how it's like oxygen for them. It's how they breathe. Your emotions are their fuel. What if she wants me to help her with Smith? While still being like angry, she literally called me to wash the dishes and I didn't go because what exactly is she thinking? What do you mean she wants me to go help her with SM Smith? I don't know if that's a typo or what that is. All I can say is just as little emotion as possible in Gray Rock. Just very short something. Want you to help with something. Narcs will relieve their anxiety by yelling out anyone in their area. Yes, narcissists try to regulate their emotions through you because they cannot regulate their own emotions. They cannot self soothe. That's why they always need supply in any way, shape, or form. They need your emotion. They need your reaction. They need you crying. They need you pissed off. They need you whatever, because that helps soothe their insides that are so fucked up. Yeah, anybody will be a target. You could sit there and do absolutely nothing. It's really nice to have someone to talk to. Thank you so much for answering me. You're welcome. Let us know how it turns out. Just remember to protect your energy at all costs, protect your peace. And I know it's easier said than done when you're in the situation, but the more that you practice that, the easier it'll get. Don't look into their eyes, they might control you that way. Yeah, kind of like Medusa. Don't look at Medusa because it'll turn you to stone. Yeah, and those dark eyes, it's creepy. Never want to see that crap again. It's the creepiest thing ever. The dark eyes. It's like they're so hollow. It's like it's spine chilling for those of you that have encountered that. The dark, just hollow, creepy black eyes. And they don't even have to be mad while they're doing it. My experience was he was not angry when he was doing that. It was an intimate moment and it was almost like he was looking into my soul and trying to control me. I got chills all up and down my spine. I'm sitting in my room because she told me to get out of her sight. And yes, I always avoid looking in their eyes because I know I'll just talk back. Good for you. Getting yourself into your room and away from that space was a good thing to do. Freeze and fawning is a normal reaction. And sometimes it's hard when they follow you from room to room too. They don't want to give you space because they need that fuel from you. They need it so badly. So they'll keep poking you until you react. I don't feel for anybody in that situation still. Yeah, and you freeze and fawn for so long that it just becomes a normal thing. We don't think about it. It's just an automatic thing. So even after you get out of narcissistic abuse, you have to unlearn that and start to feel all those feelings and what to do with them with the right people, though. That's exactly what I'm scared of. Like, what if she comes to my room? I really don't want to see them at all right now. Is there any way that you can leave? Can you go for a walk? Can you get out of the house? I'm so sorry you're dealing with that. That really sucks being in that toxic dynamics. If they will let you leave, if you could go for a walk, or go to a friend's house, anything just to remove yourself from it, because they will. They'll keep trying to poke at you to get a reaction from you. And sometimes they will get pissed off if you don't react the way that they want you to. If you're doing gray rocks, that might piss some of them off. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. All I know is like so glad I'm not in that, and just I feel for you. I really do. Um, Katrina, that's what he did. That's what he did with me after I served him divorce papers. The following around, I felt unsafe. Yeah, they want you to feel cornered. A narc will poke the bear and then cry because they were hurt. Yes, they will always play the victim. Always, always. They're always the victim. Why did you make them cheat? Why did you make them do this? It's your fault because of that. It, it's a no win situation. Never taking accountability because that's too much for them. When they're young, they create this false narrative of themselves because the shame is so intense from the neglect that they went through in childhood that they create just like a character in a movie. They have to stick to the script of that narrative of who they are because they cannot face the shame that they were forced to feel with the neglect, from childhood. Feeling unsafe is a hard feeling to get over. It really is because a lot of people think when you get out of narcissistic abuse that you're okay because you're not being abused anymore, but those old records still keep playing in your mind and you don't feel safe. There's a hypervigilance. You're wondering when is the ball going to drop next, and you're wondering if they're stalking you because they usually do. Where are they? You're going and driving, always looking over your shoulder. Like you never get to feel safe, and especially if they're still if you're still in the same roof, under the same roof with them, or you live in the same city and you're not together. They're still there. It takes a lot. I understand that mom's mad right now for a valid reason, but what I don't understand is why is she coming at me? It's really unfair and toxic in my opinion because she can't go fight dad, so she yells at me. You're the punching bag. You're the closest thing there. And sadly, that's how they operate. They will take it out on the closest person next to them because she can't regulate herself. She's going to use you as a punching bag. And I'm really super sorry that's happening. That is rough. The aftermath is rougher than being in the fight. It is absolutely. The hard part isn't leaving the narcissist, although when you're in that, you feel like it's never gonna end. I remember feeling that like this nightmare is never going to end. How am I gonna get out of this? Because they have you such in the trauma bond with the cognitive dissonance and all that. You find them, they're hurting you, but at the same time, they are relief. When you come back, when they come back, it's like relief. It's like a drug addict. Being with a narcissist is like being a drug addict. And I was never a drug addict, but it's the same chemicals in your brain that are involved when you're coming off of heroin. That's what I have heard. When it's the exact same brain chemicals, the cortisol, the dopamine, the cortisol, the dopamine, the up, the down, the hot, the cold. And that's how they keep you trauma bonded to them. So after you do get out of that, you feel like that's the hardest part of it, but it's not because you have to unlearn all those patterns that got you into the narcissistic abusive relationship in the first place. Like, why? I'm almost 17 and I've never really felt a day go without chaos. My dad's a huge narcissist, and my mom's so very big coward because she has nowhere else to go for a teen to see this is bad. I'm so sorry. My heart goes out to you. I wish that is so rough. Um, yeah, you're caught in the middle of all that. You're triangulated into all that, and your nervous system is heightened from being in that dynamic. I am so sorry. And when you're that age, you're underage, you don't have control over that. There is nowhere to go. And if you don't have like a family, close family, you're stuck in those dynamics. I went through the same thing. And when I wanted to escape, my mom would find any reason to put me on restrictions so I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go to a friend's house to escape. That's why I asked if there's anything you can do to get out of the house, go take a walk, maybe, take a bath. Say you have to go to the bathroom, anything just to get some space. Dopamine addiction is an unseen addiction. Yep, and you don't even realize that you're in it. And then people shame you. They don't understand unless you've been in it or you understand these dynamics. They don't understand, well, why do you keep going back? You must like the hurt. You must like the pain. No, it's that the pain is also the source of your relief. Because when they take that, they remove themselves, they give you the silent treatment, your cortisol levels are going up and you're craving that dopamine hit that they gave you before because you know how nice and how sweet they can be. You know how loving they can be. And so it's so confusing. You're in a delusion. They have you so screwed up. You don't know which way you're going and you just crave them. You don't crave them as a person, you crave what they are giving you. It's like relief when they come back. And it's not because you're craving them as a healthy person. It's like a drug. It's so screwed up to be in. I feel bad for anybody still in these dynamics. What's worse is being in such a country where even police don't care at all. Therapists are as rare as gold, even if there was some, no one will let you go check over yourself. Yeah, the police and therapists, like unless that therapist is specialized in narcissistic abuse and they've lived it themselves, most of them have no freaking idea. Like teaching from a book, they're not going to be able to help you. And most likely they will go with the narcissist because they have no clue what they're dealing with. And police officers especially, they're not trained in this kind of stuff. When police officers come to the scene, they don't see what happens before they were called to the scene. They see the reaction to that abuse because that narcissist has poked you, and you look like the crazy one by the time they get there. They don't know what led up to that. They don't know what the narcissist, how they abused you and psychologically annihilated you before they got on the scene. They have no idea. And you don't know how to explain it to them because you're so discombobulated from what happened. And then they're over there playing the victim. Like, I didn't do anything. She just lost her mind, officer. This is what happens. And make you look like the wackadoodle person. So apparently in our community, opinion, depression or anxiety or any mental problem is fake and just a teen being spoiled. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Just because of your age, people don't take you seriously. And there was a video, it's gone viral. This happened years ago though, and I just recently came across it about he was like 17 years old. No, he was 14 years old. He was being brought back by his dad to drop off at his mom's, and he refused to get out of his dad's vehicle because he didn't want to go back into those toxic dynamics with his mother. And the cops would not listen to him. His mother would not listen to him, of course, because she was the narcissist. The stepfather wasn't listening to him. Nobody would listen to this kid because he was 14. And I'm sorry, it pisses me off. Just because you're 14 and you're underage does not mean that your feelings don't matter. So I am sorry that you're being invalidated, and it happens all too often because they think kids don't have rights to feel what they're feeling, and they don't pay attention to that. And it's really sad that this is how the world is. You're their control factor. Narcs have used people to feel relief from their own anxiety. Yeah, exactly, because they don't self-regulate. They don't know how to self-soothe. So your mother is taking it out on you for what her father is doing, from what your father is doing. Excuse me, you guys. I gotta blow my nose. It's windy today, and I think I got allergies going on. I don't want to be all gross in the camera. You wouldn't believe that, but the police officers in our city, I don't think they're trained to do anything. Most police officers aren't. Like I said, they see the aftermath. after what that narcissist has done, poking, 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 they see the reaction to the abuse when you're breaking. So it makes you look like you're crazy. And I really wish they would train officers on this, but they don't. They don't. And especially in court, judges, they don't train the judges to see it, police, doctors, medical. Sadly, it's how our world operates because, like I said, it all comes back to childhood. It starts in childhood when especially boys are brought up to not feel, don't be a sissy, don't cry, tough it up. And so they carry this into all their relationships where they don't feel feelings. They just operate out of here and they don't know how to connect with people. And it's not just, I'm not just picking on men, it's women too. Women are taught to push their feelings down, and you either turn out to be a narcissistic jerk or the opposite. You're the empath where you're taking the brunt from the narcissist because they don't know how to process their emotions and soothe themselves. So you're the target. And it's just, it's happening all over the world, everywhere, in the government, in hospitals, and everywhere you go. There's just narcissistic behaviors, toxic behaviors, because people can't regulate their emotions. Planning to go study abroad as soon as I'm 18. There's no way I'm staying in this disgusting community. Being an Arab country makes it even worse. People here only think about themselves. I'm so glad you're close to people and you can get free of that and make a life for yourself and be around people that deserve to have you, that'll treat you the way that you deserve. Thank you for all the hearts, you guys. I appreciate it. And thank you all for being here. Uh, just going back through my notes because I don't know who missed what earlier, but this whole live was about how we're conditioned and what was just shared here, how we're conditioned to ignore ourselves. And your mom and your dad were conditioned to feel the ignore themselves too. Like it just, it's a mad repeating of patterns until the generational trauma is broken. This just keeps repeating itself in family after family after family after family until somebody wakes up and says, this is enough and this stops here. Well, I'm not going to operate like this anymore. And oftentimes that means if people can't wake up with you within the family dynamics where all this toxic stuff is happening, that you cut people off because it stops with you and the silence is broken and you learn how to heal and to let those feelings thaw out like I talked about earlier and not ignore yourself. Learn how to set those boundaries up. And it's a wild ride, y'all. It's not easy. I'm telling you, you feel extremely isolated and extremely alone because most of the world is choosing to stay asleep and to accept this as the norm. This is the way we operate. This is the way the world works. You know, everybody's on autopilot. Generational abuse becomes a very long line of people. That is worldwide bad habit. Yeah, it's a long line of people until you decide to be the one. Usually it's the scapegoat of the family, the one that sees through things, the ones that notice things, the ones that they're labeled the bad kid, the problem child, because they speak up and they notice things that everybody else chooses to ignore. Yeah, the black sheep is a problem child because they don't want to be quiet and they don't fall into line and do what everybody else is doing. My cat is drinking out of my cup right now, so I gotta hold it so she doesn't knock it over. She's so crazy. She always has to stick her head in the toilet too and drink the water. So yeah, it's not fun being the scapegoat, but we can all come together and we can all shred the silence, so this doesn't have to keep repeating and help people become more aware, and awake to what's going on. Because as a young child, I remember This doesn't feel right. Something always felt off in my life and in the family dynamics. I just couldn't put my finger on it. And here I am, 50, almost 59 years later, looking back, going, holy shit, that's what it was. Generational trauma. Like I wasn't crazy. I was just more awake and more aware. I was a scapegoat, and it stops here. And even though I wish I would have woke up like years and years and years ago, at least I'm here now and trying to wake up other people and stop the silence and stop feeling, help people from feeling invisible anymore. Because that's when you feel invisible, you are easily controlled by narcissists. And when you wake up to that, it's a whole can of worms. Because sometimes you have to, it feels like you are standing completely alone. That's why I like to have these lives. I want to eventually, forgive me for being slow at this, um, get on some kind of Zoom call where we can actually all talk to each other and just support each other, because this journey is no joke. It's not for the weak. It's not an easy journey. It's hard as fuck. Excuse my language, but that's how I like to describe it, because adjectives describe, because it makes it more emotion. You can feel it, because this is all about emotions and feeling our emotions. And I got to plug in my phone, so it's about to die. I have to get another tripod. Grateful for your content. I'm grateful for you guys. And yes, all the scapegoats uniting. Grateful that all of you are in here and that we're coming together, because it's going to take an army of people. Because this is where a lot of people, like, they're afraid to speak up, because it's hard. It's hard when you feel like sometimes you're standing alone and you're the only one, but you're not the only one. That's why I want to make this community, so we can all come together and fight against this shit, because this is um it's spiritual warfare. And I know a lot of people are uncomfortable with that, but that is what this is. We are not fighting like people. We are fighting entities. Thank you for the hearts. This is something that we can't always see. And I'm not like a churchy person. I am so against church, because I have that's a whole other live and podcast to get into. A lot of narcissism lives in the church. And yes, spiritual warfare is a real thing. And that's why I don't think I will ever step foot back in a church, because a lot of damage was done to me there. And I'll save that for another live or another podcast, or maybe when we're able to talk to each other back and forth. You too, Katrina, with the church. Like, I am a spiritual person, but I am not religious. I don't believe in religion. I think most of it's culty, and a lot of it can be very damaging. And I'm afraid to cross those waters, because it just gets weird, like politics. Religion and politics gets weird. But at the same time, I won't silence myself. I'm just choosing the right time and place to start engaging in that way, because that's where I'll find our people too. The people that are on the same wavelength, the same vibe, the people that are awake to the place that we're awake. Yeah, narcissists are no joke, man. They're not people that are just lost and fucked up. It's a whole other level. So that's why, continue defrosting yourself, continue feeling those feelings and not pushing them down. And I'll say this on every live, because it's so important that you guys really take the time every day to be consciously aware of what your thoughts are. Because when you've gone a whole lifetime of having those shoved down and frozen. It takes a while for that to thaw out because if you're not aware of that, you will get easily manipulated again and again and in different ways. So you have to be really aware and have discernment of what's going on up here. What are you telling yourself? What are those old patterns and the conditioning that's still playing in your head because you have to reset that? You have to control alt delete up here and reboot it with things that are true because all that shit up here is a lie. It was a lie. For you to have to push yourself down and not to be yourself, that you were being made to believe a lie about yourself. And it's crazy when you wake up, isn't it, Katrina? It's like, holy shit. It's I can't describe it. You guys know, for those of you that have been there and are in it, it's a whole other worm, can of worms, huge worms. But it's not all bad because you want to protect yourself. You want to protect your mind, your body, your soul, your energy, like thought diarrhea, exactly. And it's really hard to rewire that sometimes because it's ingrained in there pretty deeply. It's gone back. Not just this last relationship with the narcissist, it goes way back. Like I told you before, the digging in the dirt, my nails get so dirty. It's digging in the dirt and facing the shadows. The shadow that I never understood what that meant. Like facing your shadows is all the stuff that you were taught to ignore about yourself and shove down are your shadows. And now when you face those, that's why a narcissist cannot face theirs. I remember this. I'm going to tell you a little story. I remember when he was still here, going over to the mirror and holding his hand and saying, looking at each other and saying, we're going to heal together. We used to call ourselves Jenny and Forrest from Forrest Gump. And I said, you know how Jenny says, run, Forrest, run in the movie? Well, when I was holding his hand, I said, Forrest, this is the one time that you don't run. Don't run, Forrest. But he ran anyway, because that's what narcissists do. They don't want to face their image in the mirror. You are holding them against their will when you're trying to do that. They will look at you like you are the abuser when you are trying to get them to take accountability and look at their shadows and deal with their shit because they do no wrong. They will stick to that narrative. It's like walking through a thick, dense fog. Look for a glimpse of light, not noticing you are the light that you need. You are the light. Everything that you need has been within you all the time. And I never understood that. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? And now I know. I know what that means. It's all within you. And that's why the narcissist wants to come suck that out of you. It's a spiritual warfare because they are the dark and they want the light. The dark is always going to follow the light. They want what you have because they cannot have it. So they try to extract it from you. They turn it on you. Yes. Are those sad faces, Aster? I can't see because my eyes are trying to adjust. Yeah, it looks like sad emojis. What's the sad emojis for? What's going on? Been on here for 2 hours now, a little over 2 hours. So continue not ignoring yourself because you were conditioned to do so throughout your whole life. And that's what the narcissist wants you to continue to do is to ignore yourself. Dwindle down to this, dwindle down to nothing. And I don't know if I completed this thought before. This is why I reiterate in every live that it's so important to sit with your own thoughts all the time, to filter out the noise of everybody else and social media, what you got going on in your life. Just sit in silence so you can hear what you're thinking and start noticing that and dissecting what you're thinking about. Because if you don't have clarity up here, what's going on, you're going to be victim to a narcissist again, or very toxic, manipulative people. He was timed out for questionable behavior. It was displayed here. Owner of the channel has put time out here. Oh yeah, it's probably my moderators. It's my moderators because if the if the anybody's getting off topic or in trying to distract from what this channel is really about, that's what they're here for. Stick to the subject or be removed. I just go to the bathroom. I feel like I already have to go again. Yeah. There's people that'll come in here that try to throw off the topic. Um, so I have a couple moderators in here. But anything you guys want to share, let me know. And go again. Yeah, okay, I'll be right back. Trying to stay hydrated, that's part of self care, right? I don't drink water. So I'm here, I try to drink more. The bladder like the size of a pea, I swear. So I try not to drink too much water at work, and then I know it's not good for me because I don't want to keep stopping my truck to use the restroom. I'm late. Hi, Giuseppe, you made it. Did you bring real Italian pizza? I'm hungry. Yeah, you said something about pizza. I wasn't able to answer your comment because I got pulled aside at work. What are some physical activities you do to regulate yourself? Well, I'll chime in while, while I'm waiting for responses. I started Tai Chi, which reminds me I still have to do it today. Um, breathing. Okay, breathing doesn't really work for me most of the time, and I'll tell you why. If some of you guys think that breathing is a bunch of crap and it doesn't work, it might be because your adrenaline is too spiked too high, like you're too stressed out about something. So I learned something new this week is I grab the steering wheel on my semi truck and I squeeze really tight and then I'll put my feet to the ground like real hard and just contract the muscles and then release it and do that a few times and I felt that's helped me to regulate a little bit and then the breathing will work better because sometimes breathing just doesn't cut it because you have to bring that adrenaline down and then you can try also another thing. I keep frozen bottles of water for my lunch pill for work in my bag. So I'll take that frozen bottle and I'll put it on my arm, I'll put it on my neck or something, and that helps me immediately. So you guys can try that too. And I don't know if you guys have any thing that works for you. Let me know. That helps to regulate. And then walking, it's just simple things that we don't think about. Just going for a walk, and I have to force myself not to look at my phone and just enjoy the outside, feel the sun on your skin, being in the moment. Because when you're up here too much, you don't make clear thoughts. This is how the narcissist always works up here. They don't know how to be in their body because they're so shut off from it and in the full self, and we don't want to be there. So when you come back into your body, then you live in the moment, because we'll stress ourselves out, we think too much, we panic, what if this, what if that. So when you're grounding yourself, you are coming back into your body, you're able to make better, clear decisions about life. You're not operating out of um, like reacting to things. You're more responsive. Daydreaming is good. Yeah, I daydream like I'm in Hawaii or Italy or using one of those little gondolas. Or I dream about, my friend and I, we always talk about living maybe in a tiny home off a piece of land somewhere, kind of off the grid. I'll daydream about that. What do you daydream about? You meditate? Meditating's good. Yes, meditation is great. Another good one is humming. I'll just go down the road and I'll hum, or I'll hum the to a song. Just hum while the song is on, and that helps your vagus nerve to calm down and regulate. Meditation. You guys got some good ideas in here. I'm rich and famous. Are you? Where's the pizza, Giuseppe? I want pizza so bad right now. I don't think I've ever really had like real Italian pizza. I usually get the most I get is California Pizza Kitchen, and I like the barbecue. The barbecue chicken one is so good. Meditation. I do yoga sometimes. Pilates a little bit. Pilates and yogurt. I was gonna say yogurt is kind of hard on my wrist sometimes because I had carpal tunnel surgery. If you could see I have the little scars there on both of my wrists, so it's kind of hard on the wrist. Like to play angry music and sing loudly. Yes. What's that new band I ran across? Katie, I was sharing the songs with you. They sing, they're so amazing. I'm addicted to them. I can't believe I don't know their names right now because I'm having brain fog. I don't, stupid brain fog. So I'll have to look it up on my history on YouTube. Let's see. Oh, Sleep Theory. Sleep Theory. It's a band that I guess they came out a few years ago and now they're going viral. I knew a lady who could kiss her own toe yoga. Oh my goodness. I used to be flexible like that. I don't think I'd kiss my own toes though. That's going a little far. And no, I am not married. I don't ever plan on getting married again. I think the single life is a flex now. Just to answer your question, I have really no interest. I am enjoying the single life very much. I take a hot shower, yes, to music, Alanis Morissette. What pizza is your favorite? Hot showers are nice. Water is great therapy. Sometimes I'll put on when I go to sleep uh, water sounds, meditation, like sleep meditation that speaks to your subconscious. That's helpful. I don't know how many of you guys do that. You're a young troubadour. The California Pizza Kitchen is my favorite. The barbecue chicken lately has been my thing. What's yours? I like mood lighting. Oh, yes, like the northern light I have. What kind of mood lighting do you have? Candles or what? Pepperoni and pineapple. Yeah, that's good. Katrina, I wish we could have like pizza together. That'd be so fun. You guys are making me hungry. I didn't really have lunch. I just had breakfast, oatmeal and coffee. I think that's all I had today. But it's nighttime where you're at, huh, Giuseppe? Jagged pill. Trina Alanis is the jagged pill. Butter chicken. Butter chicken pizza? Is that a type of pizza? Gosh, now my dogs are wanting to go outside. I don't want to go outside. I know I want some pizza. Yeah, it's 10:24. I know it's always late, huh? You're on the other side of the world. wish I could go to Italy. Did you ever go on those gondolas? The closest I'll get to that is it's called the Venetian. Is they have the gondolas in there down on the strip. Jagged Pill. I'm not familiar. I don't think I've listened to too much Alanis, but now I'll have to listen to that. Maybe I should put it on in the background. Let me see. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Pill. I hope I don't get in trouble for playing music on a live. I think I've heard people do that before on YouTube. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Pill. All right, let's check this song out. I hope I don't get striked on for YouTube for like copyright or something. I know I've heard people on TikTok playing music on their lives, so if they do, I'll just say, "Oops, my bad. I didn't know." Now I do. You oughta. Oh, you oughta know. That's Alanis. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to find. This is a mix. I want to find the actual song. It's 50. I'm trying to find the one song, but all I'm finding are mixes. So I can't find the one single song. You learn? Is Jagged Pill the name of the song or the album? 13th track. I will try to share the ragu recipe later. Thank you, Deanna, because that sounds so delicious. Well, someone must have been out of line here. Message deleted. I like ironic album. It's an album. Okay. So, is there a particular song on the album I'm looking for? The whole album is great. Learn. You learn. You. I think I know this song. You live. You learn. Okay, let's skip the commercials. Oh, I know this song. Can you guys hear that? Oh, I know this one. Anyone? Yeah. Living room. Not today because we're live. We won't be walking around naked in our living room. Jagged Little Pill. Good track. Ironic. Okay, I'll look for that one. Learn. Can you guys hear this? Yeah, this is a good healing song, isn't it? You, you learn. Wrote it when she was young and had suffered a big breakup. This is perfect for our community then. You can choose. They don't have the lyrics on this one. Ironic. Sticking your foot in your mouth. There is number one, Alanis. Oops. See what these comments are. Iconic. Iconic. 1995, I was 34 years old. Now I'm 63 and I still rock to this song. This is a good song. Just so good. People don't talk enough about how freaking original and unique she was. Hands down, the best album of the 90s. Absolutely. You can sing loudly and angry as you want. Okay, let's go see what iconic is. I don't know if I've heard that one. Iconic. Alanis Morissette, iconic. Oh, ironic. It's not iconic. Ironic. Did I read it wrong? If you are into country, Miranda Lambert's a good one. I know what that. I try not to listen to country because it triggers me about the narcissist, but eventually I'll learn to get over that. There is one song where she's burning down. She's outside and she's burning because she caught her man cheating and she's lighting stuff on fire. I forgot the name of the song. Ironic, not iconic. Oops. We don't want to talk about testosterone. All right, here it is, Giuseppe. You are. Oh yeah, I know this one. It's raining on your wedding day, right? Black fly in your Chardonnay. Death row pardon. 2 minutes too late. Isn't that ironic? I thought rain on your wedding day was good luck. Can you guys hear that? It figures. Play it safe. Can you guys hear? Oh, this is like when you're looking for a fork and all you can find is knives. That happens to me all the time. I can't find no damn forks. I find spoons and knives. I don't know where all the forks go. I guess they go where the socks go because, like, you wash your socks. And I swear there's a leprechaun or something in there taking one of the socks so you don't have a pair. Thank you, Giuseppe. I got to figure out what's for dinner. I want pizza, but that's not an option tonight. You guys all made me hungry for pizza. And I usually have pizza in there. California Pizza Kitchen. When you're already late, smoking sun on your cigarette break. Here we go. 10,000 spoons, and all you need is a knife. Meeting his beautiful wife. Why what? Order a pizza, Glennis. Yeah, I could, I guess. I don't want to be spending money, but maybe. I'm trying to eat healthier, and it's really hard. I was talking about like when I go grocery shopping, I need to start eating more salads. Cooking with wine again. Yes, and Deanna talked about a really yummy dish that hopefully she'll be able to post in our community because you guys are making me super hungry. We can roast it. Oh, and that reminds me, I have got to pull out my crock pot to start cooking in that because you can throw stuff in there, you come home from work and it's done, and I don't have to do anything. That's self care, right? That's self care because um, I'm so stressed out and tired after work. I don't want to cook. I just don't freaking feel like it. What else, you guys? Want me to play anything else? Beef roast with wine is amazing. Yes. What's naplo? I can't say that. Naplotane? What is that? Let me ask. Look it up. ragu isn't that great. I'll send you my recipe of sauce. Okay. You can post it in the community, Giuseppe. I've never had an Neapolitan pizza. What is it? I've never had one either. I never even knew it existed. Oh, what? Neapolitan pizza. Am I saying it right? Neapolitan? That looks super good. It looks like it has spinach on it. Is that spinach? Is this the real Italian pizza? The real deal? No, because what is this green? Because I have a picture. I looked it up and it looks like it has something green on it and it looks like spinach. Ooh, and the crust is so thick and puffy. Does it have cheese in the crust? Yes. That looks super good. Man, I'm so hungry. I'm starving now. Basil. Okay, basil. They're big leaves. Is it where the margarita pizza comes from? Yeah, is there a true like margarita pizza in Italy? Baked in a stone oven. Yeah, I see that on the picture. That must taste so good. Oh, this is killing me, y'all. I'm so hungry. Man, it would be so cool to meet with all you guys and like have this pizza and play some Alanis and just chill out, wouldn't it? With our little community, oregano, olives, and mozzarella. Oh my gosh, big Italian pizza ovens. It's a real deal. It's not this fake shit. I know we all need that because we need to connect with our people. This is our people, our tribe, narcissist free, where we don't shrink and we don't stay silent. That would be a Sunday fun day. Be a great all meeting up. Man, if I was rich, I'd make it happen. Have a little retreat for us to all meet up and just talk and be ourselves and have a good time, listen to good music, eat good food. Uh-oh, my light is dying again. I just charged you. Like you all are needing something. This, it's my light. So I have to sit here in the dark, you guys. Not really dark, but not as light as it could be. I need to get another ring light. I should get one of those big ones. Like you see the content creators get. And my fancy microphone one day. Would you? I don't know where we would have it. Guess here in Vegas. Could come to Vegas. Oh my. Now my dogs are starting to whine to go out. Probably have to get off of here soon, you guys, because I am starving. But I wanted to. Oh, I was talking about this band. I just ran across them. Um, they just started playing their song on the radio a lot, and I was like, they sing a lot about healing. They're called Sleep Theory. There's a song called Three, and it's an awesome video. It takes place. It looks like there's a tornado, and it talks about how it fits a narcissist perfectly. Yes, Vegas. I am in. I have never been to Vegas. Yay, that'd be nice if we could make it all happen and you could come. And then you can say that you can't say that you've never been to Vegas tomorrow. Bye. Anyway, this video is pretty cool. It takes place, it looks like a tornado's going on. It talks about how, the narcissist just destroys everything in their path. And then the lyrics are just awesome. Guys, I'll play it in the background. What's tomorrow at 5? Yes, Katie, we could meet in Vegas. Yeah, I wish you guys, if I was rich, I'd send you all out here. Maybe someday. But anyway, this guy was in the service. I think he was in the army and he got out of the service and he decided to go into music and he created this band and they are freaking awesome. It would be a very talkative day. Yes, we would never run out of stuff to talk about and food to eat. Unless we could win millions in the casino. I don't gamble, so I'll let you do that, Giuseppe. Yeah, let me turn this around. I want to show you real quick. This is a narcissist destruction right here. This is what they do. Everything in their path. So this song talks about that. These guys talk about healing and like going through everything that you go through when you're healing from this crap. I don't gamble, Glennis, never has. Well, then we won't be winning millions because I don't either. That's what you do when you're with a narcissist. You gamble. You gamble your life. But I gotta go soon, you guys. My dogs are whining to go pee. I have to find something to eat before I pass out. Um, so if you guys have anything else you want to talk about or anything, we could try the slot machine once. Yeah, we might get lucky. You never know. I need a holiday. Me too. I don't know what vacations are like. Working too much. If you're leaving, Katrina, bye. It was so nice to have you in here. Keep on keeping on. Ramen. Oh, yeah. I can try your ramen. She got me the real healthy stuff. It's gluten free too, huh? Coons and fries. Yeah, I'm getting distracted, you guys, because I'm so hungry. So, yeah. Maintaining your peace is essential. They're showing all this food on the commercials too. I'm dying. I'm getting distracted by all these videos and my hunger. This guy is awesome. Just could turn this up loud, dance around. There's that one video of his. Forgot the name of the song. Left Quietly by Brenda Storm is an excellent song. Brenda Storm, is that country? Just a beat. Left Quietly. Let me write that down in my handy dandy notebook. Left Quietly. Brenda Storm. Here we go. Here's another song by them. It's called Static by Sleep Theory. And it's talking about, how you can't quiet your mind down. And it just relates to everything with healing. Healing by Kelsey Lamb. Is this country, you guys? I'm sorry, I'm just more of a metal girl, but I am opening to listening to it. Kelsey Lamb. I shut it out, but it all comes back again. I'm trying to read you guys the lyrics. It gets worse when I'm alone. Okay, I turn it off because it just gets louder. It's about sitting with yourself alone with your thoughts and stuff. He's talking about how it gets loud and we're used to pushing it down. Keep up the fight with the static. It pushes back and there's nowhere to hide. So you're forced to deal with it. These guys are so talented. Okay, so I got both of those songs written down. Put some fennel seeds, salt and pepper, chili, and some meat, and it will taste great. On what? A pizza? Better Jim comes back again. I don't know if I'll order pizza. Oh, and you're saying to put that on my pizza? Yeah, the tiger behind you. I know. I wish he was real. He's my protector. There's nowhere to hide. Oh, she's whining at me. After this song's over, I'm gonna go, you guys. Before I pass out, put it on the meat. My suggestion sounds country but quiet and has great points. Yeah, I'm not much for the quiet. I mean, I like it loud. Able to bring me some water. Okay, my daughter needs me to get her some water. It's best if you put it on pork. Going through your dark shadows is painful, but you're in nowhere to hide. Okay, this song's got a couple more minutes. Yeah, just got to stay with it, just like Chester Bennington says. Um, what's the lyrics? Forced to look at his image against his will, standing in the mirror against my will. I don't have them exactly right, but that's what he's talking about. Okay, that's over. All right, you guys, I gotta go figure out dinner, take the dogs out, and get my daughter some water. So I want to thank you all for being here. Let me read this last. Those thoughts are not your friend. I write thoughts that are not my friend and put it on paper, add paper to a box. Memory is hard. Those thoughts are not your friend. I'll be attending a soft self sabotage healing session at 6. Oh, that's good, Deanna. I'd love to hear about that. Cooking helps you forget and is calming. There are levels for your dark shadows. It's why the beautiful you is fighting it. Good night. All right, you guys. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. I loved hanging out with you guys. Eventually, I'll figure out where we can get, talking on a Zoom, or I know there's a way to put Zoom with YouTube. Eventually, I'll get there. It's going to take me some time because life gets in the way, healing gets in the way. But thank you all. And remember not to shrink yourself, uh, not to forget who you are. Don't let anybody dim your light, allow you to dim your light. Just keep on keeping on. And I will see you guys at the next live. Check out the community tab and for upcoming videos. And I love you all. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye, you guys.